a business and haven't broken down your offer like this, you're probably leaving money on the table. Pretty much a little while ago, I realized I never really wrote down my offer so clearly. I always used to write down my offer. I used to use AI. I used to use cheat ways, but I had an offer sheet, but it just wasn't a good offer sheet. And I thought it was a complete offer, but really it didn't break it down step by step. And when I went through it, I got confused on my offer and I didn't understand how it worked until recently. I read Alex Hormozi's $100 million offers book, and I actually took in a lot of information from it. And I realized I don't have a proper offer. I don't have a proper offer sheet, and it just made me realize my whole offer was vague in general until I actually went through the book and took it and did what it actually said to do, which was make a really good offer. So in today's video, I'm just going to be breaking down how I've done this, how I've created my offer sheet, which breaks down everything from my offer, and then also how I'm using it with AI to get the most out of every AI response in my business, pretty much. So first off, this is the sheet right here. It's the Grand Slam offer, as Alex Mosey phrases it. Pretty much, my offer. One thing I really took away from the book is having good names. At the end of the book, I think it's the last chapter, is about naming, and um, I realized my name was the Practice Partner Program. Like, it didn't sound bad, but it wasn't good, and it wasn't playing on what they wanted. So I changed the name to the Patient Acquisition Engine, which I think is more attractive. And pretty much, I went through and I broke down my niche. So it breaks down my niche in this sheet, breaks down their dream outcome, it breaks down my high level promise, which originally I thought this was just my offer. So I would do it in Notion, and all I would write down with my offer would be um, my guarantee, pretty much. So I will bring you X amount of patients in 30 days, or you don't pay. And I thought that whole line was just the offer. I didn't think anything else went into the offer. I didn't think it expanded any deeper than that. When I went into my course that I started to learn on it, that's all I learned from it about offers, and I didn't fully learn what Alex Hormozi was trying to say until I fully read through the book. So this is an offer, and this is how it is broken down. Yes, it has this like one it has this one line, but it also breaks down further, and there's further things that advance it to become better than other offers, and something that truly means that it's an offer so good that someone can't say no. So I got my high level promise, which is just kind of overview of how the offer works. I got the 5 pillars. This I kind of had, but I kind of didn't, and I would always bounce between pillars. I would always add something and take it away, and I didn't actually know in concrete what my pillars were. Also, I didn't have names for my pillars. I knew I ran Facebook ads. I knew I called their leads. I knew I had AI. I knew I did whatever, but I didn't actually have cool names to make them sound like new things, because one thing I've really picked up and learnt on lately is new is better than better. New stuff, prospects will be more willing to try new stuff than they will to be try better versions of old things that they've tried in the past that haven't worked. And that's one thing that I've been really trying to put into my sales and been trying to put into my marketing, because if you make everything sound new and everything come across as a new thing, and position it in that way, it's going to drive a lot more sales. So pretty much we got pillar one, pillar two, pillar three, pillar four, and pillar five. And then we got our unique mechanisms, which I never really understood the meaning of. So I've actually dived deeper and I kind of understand it now, as well as all the unique mechanisms, how it all works together. And then fulfillment, I mapped out everything. I even did a client roadmap. So if I open up here, it's on a Miro board. And this just shows the whole client journey for fulfillment. So pretty much it shows what I do, what they do, what we do together, and what we do for them, and all the calls that happened in between the whole 90-day program. And then just basic guarantees, pricing, and one liner. So let's break this down deeper and further. So the patient acquisition engine, that's our name. So my niche is cosmetic dental practices and implant center owners who specialize in high ticket treatments. So anything like implants, Mouth reconstructions, veneers, and mainly Invisalign. I started with Invisalign, but I've decided to bring all just high ticket treatments in. There's specific problems. They're spending money on marketing and they're attracting unqualified leads without with dealing with high no-show rates and also very unqualified Groupon shoppers who only come in for really discounts. And they're selling a commodity, which is one big thing in the Alex Hormozi offers book is you never want to come across as a commodity because you'll just be in a race of price. And when you're in a race of price, you can only go down and decrease your price. So that is one thing we're trying to do. We're trying to not sell on price. We're trying to sell on value. So they put us in a completely different bucket than the rest of the people. So there's this bucket right here. So if I just break it down to you on this sheet, right? There's I like to think of it as there's two buckets. That's pretty thin. Hold on, let me just go zoom in. Okay. So oh my god, that's pretty thin too. Okay. Okay, so there's two buckets. Right, these are buckets. Don't mind my drawing. There's the bucket with many other agencies, which all compete on price. So yeah, there you go. I can't draw with trackpad. And then what you want to position yourself as is in the second bucket, which is competing on value, which is your own buckets. You want to create your own bucket where you compete on value and you're a new one of one thing that they can't compare anything to that like they've tried in the past. So that's just a quick example. Let me just control Z all this shit drawings. All right, let's head back to here. So yeah, that's a specific problem, unique mechanism. As I said, the patient acquisition engine. It's got a nice fancy name to it. It's end-to-end system, so we're doing everything from ads all the way through until they sell the client, and we're trying to take as much of that process as possible. So it's all in my hands. Oh shit! Sorry. Okay, here we go. All right. So next is the dream outcome. Um, so their dream outcome is obviously become the authority and be able to sell these high ticket cosmetic dentistry treatments and be the best seller in the city, work fewer hours, and obviously sell more cases per month. Right? That's their main goal. So here we go. High level promise. So we promise them 10 to 30 qualified patients through their door every single month. Our for our offer, our package is a 90-day program, and then we have a guarantee, which is just a 30-day no obligation money back guarantee. So in the first 30 days, if they're extremely dissatisfied, we'll just 100% refund them their money. No questions asked, pretty much. Also here, we actually, when I get into pricing, we actually position ourselves as a performance-based agency, so that kind of comes across as more of a guarantee. So um, yeah, it it lowers the risk because like Alex Hormozi says in the offers book, you've got the value equation where the perceived likelihood of the outcome is on top, and you want to increase that perceived likelihood of the outcome in the offer. And by having a guarantee and by being performance based, that's how we do it. So yeah, let's get into these five pillars because these are the main parts. So pillar one is that what we call our authority driven ads. So pretty much this is just running ads, but it sounds fancy. But instead of running generic stock image ads offering cheap cleanings and anything like that, which is pretty much what every dentist does in the market, we actually build out and target affluent zip codes, and we build out video ads with the doctor or AIUDC actors that position themselves as a specialist in the market and not as a commodity. Then pillar two, prestige patient funnel. That's our fancy name for it. It's pretty much we will create them a funnel to qualify the leads. We'll ask questions about them, and yeah, that kind of does a deep dive of that. Then we have our patient sales team. So obviously, dentists, what they do with a lot of marketing agencies, they get offered leads, but they don't actually call them leads and they have to call them themselves, or the front desk has to do it. So we will do this for them, and we'll do this 9 to 5 and call all their leads, qualify them, and book them into a calendar. And we heavily train our team on local landmarks, disqualifying leads, treatment providers, like parking, like everything about their offer. So specifically, that's kind of the way we position it as different. Scaling with speed, what this is we have advanced tracking and metrics and ROI tracking and data reporting. Pretty much, this is what this is. So they know what they're doing is working and how they're scaling this profitably without losing quality or burning for a bunch of ad spend, for example. So that's kind of scaling with speed. So the goal is to put $1 in, get $3 out consistently, right? That's kind of that. And then what we do here with the hidden revenue reactivation, this is pillar number 5. But instead of offering it, what I'm going to do for sales, instead of offering it as pillar number 5, what it's going to be doing, we're going to offer it as a bonus. So pretty much, I'm going to offer the 4 pillars, and then at the end of the call, if they're not bought into it yet, that can be something I can pull out to try to get them over the line, which is the hidden revenue reactivation. And it's just we'll run a reactivation campaign to get as many patients through the door as we can in the first 14 days, pretty much from their old lead lists. But the goal with this is to position the offer as more valuable than how much it costs. So that is our bonus right there. And then if they did hop on and join without the bonus, we're gonna add that later, and it'll be like a more of a wow factor that we forgot to mention it, or we're adding it to them, or we're giving it to them. Then we got our unique mechanisms, which is pretty much the same thing. What makes us unique, which is the patient acquisition engine as a whole. We do the whole work entirely and bring it all together, everything together, so they don't have to do anything. It's all done for you. We have the authority driven ads, which is a lot different in the market than the generic low quality ads that bring all these low quality leads and don't position the Invisalign clinics as the premium provider in the market. Same with the patient funnel. It doesn't qualify, like, we position it in a way where it qualifies all the prospects coming in way better than any funnel that anyone else does. Same with the patient sales team. Not many people do this, and if they do it, they do it with offshore teams, and they don't do it right. So pretty much we do it right, but a lot of people don't do this. So it's a big selling point that dental practices actually need. Scaling with speed, another big practice. Pretty much on a call, like if we're talking and they're like, I ask them something about their numbers and they say, I don't know about the numbers. Bang, that's what we can sell. Because you need, like, I assume you should know, like, I assume the marketing agency you've been working with the past has been giving you bi-weekly audits. Can we pull one of them up? And then they'll be like, oh no, they haven't. Oh shit, that's a big gap right there that we can fill. So that's that hidden revenue reactivation. This is something to get quick cash over the line and quick win. So that's kind of it, how it all works together. Fulfillment. So I'll just show you the client roadmap. Where am I? Here we go. So, yeah, they joined our Slack, scheduled onboarding call. They sign the agreement. We connect to their Facebook, onboarding form, all the onboarding stuff, send the reactivation list, all this, and then schedule the launch call. It's going to take us to all the stuff we do. So we build out the reporting, we build out all the stuff, we train the patient sales team, we do market research, we build the campaigns, we edit the videos, we do the database reactivation campaign, we do the authority funnel, we do everything like that. Then the launch call, and then attend the sales process audit where we audit, iron everything out. And then from there, we scale, manage leads, manage the campaigns, and keep identifying new concepts, angles, and keep improving everything pretty much. And then bi weekly one on one calls. And then that's the 90-day program pretty much. Here, if you want to read, you can pause there and go through that. Same with this. There's a lot to it. But yeah. Then our guarantee, like I said, is the full 30-day satisfaction guarantees if they're extremely dissatisfied with our service. It's a full 30-day satisfaction guarantee, no questions asked, as long as they're spending a minimum of 80 Australian dollars a day on ads. Then our pricing model. So we charge just to get started because I'm going into a new market. I want to test it. I need to get an upfront fee of $1,000 to reserve. This is just the upfront fee, the enrollment fee, and then for the performance base, what I'm going to be testing is um, a $50 deposit actually paid by the patient that we will take, because in the industry that I'm in, a lot of people take deposits, especially with the high ticket services already. So if we're taking the deposit and taking it as our performance, then we're not taking money from them from the actual practice as a performance. So it's a lower barrier of entry, and it's kind of less scary to get actually in. And then minimum of 80 AUD Australian directly. That just goes directly to Meta as ad spend. And then our one line offer, which I thought was my offer, I thought this was just the offer, but now I've broken it down fully. Is we'll bring you 10 to 30 qualified patients in 30 days, or you don't pay. It doesn't have to be Invisalign. I'll actually delete that. But yeah, that's pretty much my offer sheet. Why this is so good is instantly, if someone asks about my offer, I can just give them this. Uh, like someone on my team or anything like that, it breaks down my offer so simply that I can just read through it and understand it. If I ever get confused on it or anything like that, if I want to implement something, it's real nice and easy. But the biggest benefit is I can just download it as a PDF. I can put it in Manus. I can put it in Claude. I can put it in ChatGPT. I can, and it just gives context on my offer so well that, like say Manus will go through it and it will understand my whole business, from my offer pretty much, and it'll understand who I'm serving and it'll understand what my offer is. And that is definitely one of the biggest reasons I've spent a bit of time going through this and just manually filling all this out, working out the names. And I think it is pretty good start. And I'm going to be testing it, and then obviously it will improve as further on as we go. But yeah, thank you.